Hello, my friends. Thinking like an entrepreneur is so important, and I am thrilled to share with you one of the things that I do that I think everyone should do because it gauges and anchors exactly what they're trying to decide in their decision-making process. So I call this extreme anchoring. And if you think of a scale of 0 through 10, right? What we want to do in a decision making process is anchor the 0 and anchor the 10, knowing that your result will be somewhere in between. And I think this is the beauty of it, because essentially what you're doing is you're creating your worst case scenario with the 0 and your best case scenario with the 10. And knowing that, you can go through the thought process and the mindset and throw yourself into the situation and figure out what it will look like from all different angles, right? And what it will look like from the positive and the negative perspective. And let's look at something as an example that many of us that we're either currently doing now or you'll come across, eventually. And that's buying or leasing a car, okay? So let's go through the 0 and let's go through the 10. What I would do is think of the following. Okay, what type of vehicle do I want? And let's say I want a Honda Pilot. I want a safe car. I want a safe car for my kids. I don't need anything extreme. And what I'm gonna do is think of what I can potentially do. 1, I can finance the entire car, right? Or 2, I can pay the car outright in cash. Okay, maybe that wouldn't be everyone's thought process, but I'm just giving an example of what my thought process would be here. Okay, so I know that if I have 100% cash to pay for the vehicle outright, I can just walk into the dealership and write them a check or give them a bunch of cash, although I don't recommend giving anyone cash, and just walk out with the car. So what would that do? I guess that would be the best case scenario because I wouldn't be stuck at the dealership. I can just walk in and not be annoyed or upset that I'm being haggled at the dealership, because frankly, those experiences aren't great. And I can just walk in and out, sign some paperwork, and hopefully I'm out of there. That's my number 10. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario would be 1, they don't have a car there. I'm going back and forth with financing and my sales representative, and we can't agree on a price, right? And then we think we finally can agree on a price. They'd run a credit score, and maybe the credit score isn't strong enough, right? And then I've wasted all that time, all that energy, all my mental resources to be able to finance a vehicle that I should have paid cash with in the first place, and I wasted time, and now I'm upset and annoyed and angry. And you see the thought process. So that would be the worst case scenario. And then on top of that, I would not walk away with the car because I wouldn't fit any of their financing criteria in this example. That would be the worst case scenario. We know that it's gonna happen somewhere in between. 1, because I'm a CPA and I deal with numbers every day, I'm not gonna pay an automobile in cash, and that could be another video for another time. And if you wanna know more, ask me and I'll create a video for that scenario. But I wouldn't do that if I knew the financing was at a reasonable percentage point, or I would put a partial cash payment down in order to get myself to a better financing scenario where it costs me less over time. So that's what I mean about anchoring your worst case scenario and your best case scenario, because your decision process is, your results of your decision process is gonna be somewhere in between. It'll probably be between a 1 and a 9, and it won't be a 0 or a 10. And most likely if 5 is the middle, right, it'll probably be a 3 or 4, or maybe a 5 or 6 or 7. So hopefully this helped you a little bit, because this extreme anchoring process I use in every single business decision, family decision, traveling decision, honestly, every decision that I make, because it makes me aware and not surprised, and it helps anchor my expectations. And when something happens, I've already gone through that process in my mind, so it doesn't surprise me. And that's kind of the whole point. I want to be in control and hold the power when I make a decision that's best for me and my family and my business. So that's why I go through that scenario, so that I'm already prepared for when I'm in front of another individual face to face or on a phone call or via email, so that I'm well equipped to make that proper decision. So extreme anchoring. I hope you found value in this, and if you have any extreme anchoring examples, I would love to hear from you. Jot something down in the chat below, subscribe to our channel, like this video if it resonated with you, and if you have any other ideas for other videos, I am accepting requests, and I will help you through the process of what it's like to think like an entrepreneur and the things that an entrepreneur must always think about. All right, take care. Bye.